Well, good afternoon, everybody. I am sitting at the house, and this is obviously Christmas week. So I got this week off of work. So I just thought I'd throw it on. I said once a week I was going to do this. I'm not going to do it on Christmas Day. I'm not going to do it on Christmas Eve. So I say, well, I got a little time to do it right now. I try to talk to y'all about 20 minutes, just update you on some things. I mean, right now I'm just, like I said, sitting at the house. I had to bring my son's fiance to the airport today because she was flying back to Iowa to her father and stepmother. So they went back there. He's obviously she's living with us, and she has been for about 3 months. So, it's okay. I mean, like we said, me and Laura can do it. We can handle having her here, and it's no big deal. So she's gone. So he's gonna have 3 days without her. I mean, she'll get back Saturday night, but we're actually going to eat dinner with my older brother and his oldest son and wife and kids, and we're gonna just go out to eat on tomorrow. Christmas Eve. I'm gonna do that, and then we'll go over to my nephew's house afterwards and probably exchange a few presents. We're only gonna be able about 8, 10 of us at the most, so it's not gonna be a big deal. Friday, we're not gonna be going anywhere. We'll be home. We'll just sit at the house, and I'll watch the Pelicans and then the Saints after. Yeah, because they're both playing on Christmas Day. The Pelicans actually start tonight. Oh, excuse me. They actually start tonight in Toronto, and it'd be interesting to see, now that Steven Adams is going to be tied. They're going to be the center for the Pelicans, and Zion Williamson looks like healthy, no restrictions, and the 2 preseason games they played, he looked really good, and I'll just go with that. And I think pairing him up with Steven Adams and then bringing Eric Bledsoe in off the bench and be able to provide some offense, and obviously to go with Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball, who both of them look pretty good in these 2 preseason games as well. So it looks like maybe they got a starting lineup that could possibly challenge to get one of the 8 playoff spots. If they're going to get in the playoffs, it's going to be number 8, number 7 at the most. So I mean, but hey, first year with Stan Van Gundy as coach, and hopefully improves the defense a little bit more. That would be a big plus. And then, well, the Saints loses of the last 2 games, and the offense wasn't that sharp, and was able to do things late in that game, but it wasn't enough to overcome what Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs did earlier in that game. But I mean, hey, your offense wasn't even clicking on all cylinders. You had a very rusty Drew Brees. I mean, being out for the last 4 weeks prior, and then he comes in, and he did. I mean, he had a bad start, but he got it hooked up a little bit later. So that was one thing that we had to talk about. But they've lost 2 games in a row, and they have the Vikings coming on Friday. Vikings sometimes give the Saints fits, but I got a feeling that, I think they're going to pull this out. So all I got to do is beat the Vikings on Friday on Christmas Day, and they'll be already in the playoffs. They're the first team in the NFC to clinch a playoff spot. So they'll be in the playoff. I mean, they're in the playoffs, but they win Friday. They win the NFC South for an unprecedented 4 times in a row. The only other team that's won it 3 times in a row is the Carolina Panthers. And look at the phone calling. Yeah, they had won it 3 times in a row. Wow. This could be the 4th time in a row for the New Orleans Saints to actually win the NFC South title. So that's never happened before since they've had that South division. Obviously the Saints won 2 NFC West titles back before when there was only 3 divisions per conference. So back then, and boy. Anyway, yeah, enough of that. But I've had some feedback on some of the stuff I talked about. First off, I know why George Peppers is going by Georgie. I do. I was just messing around. He had his prior account hacked, so he just decided, let me change that. And I've also had some positive feedback. I mean, I turned some people on to some of these YouTube channels and that I follow, and actually the music of Dion Yorkie. And tell you what, I used his music to walk by when I'm getting into an exercise program. I did tell you I did join the Fit AF program, which is run by Anthony Cushion. He's obviously British, living in Canada with his fiance, and we all know about who It's Just Nick is. If you've been on YouTube and anywhere under the age of 25, you probably know who he is, or even older than that. I mean, he's been around for a while, but he started a fitness program, and it seems to be working. So far, so good. We'll just leave it at that. Between that and my Ozempic that I have to take in order to keep my, because what's happening is, what we're hoping happens is I get down. I'm hoping to get down. It's about 220 right now. Hopefully get down at least 190, but I'd like to get down to 180. Once I do that, I think maybe I'll be able to, maybe my type 2 diabetes could go away, because it could. That's one thing about type 2. It can go away if you take care of yourself, diet, exercise. Like I said, between the metformin and the Ozempic, hopefully by the time I get to 180, I can get off that stuff and maybe get off some of the other medications that I'm on. But, yeah, it is what it is. But like we said, no Christmas is coming up, and that's why I want to go ahead and cut it today. I'll just put it out there today. I'll put this video out. And, I mean, I'm looking at the situation with everything, and like I said, sports-wise. Oh, that's what I want to bring up. But I'll go back to the other stuff later. I wanted to talk about the LSU football situation. Basically, all the defensive coaches, except two. One, the defensive line coach, Bill Johnson, retired from active coaching, so he'll probably get an analyst role, which means he'll be, during practice time, but game time he'll probably just be on the sideline with the team. So everybody except Corey Raymond was let go. Bill Johnson obviously retired, and Corey Raymond was retained. I tell you what, and the rest of the defensive staff all gone. So the Bo Pelini experiment, trying to bring him back, couldn't go back to the future. So, as some people would do, he was trying to run a scheme, and he didn't have the personnel to run the scheme, and players got confused. And if I'm LSU and I don't want to spend a boatload of money, which right now, COVID year, they don't have it to spend anyway. So I'm like, do you go out and go get another big name? Do you go hire a big name, pay them big name dollars, when you're going to be paying Pelini $5 million not to coach for the next 2 years? At least not at LSU. So, it's one of those things. All right, well, are you going to do it? Are you not going to do it? They're trying to figure all this out, and it's just, it's crazy, but it is what it is, and you do what you got to do sometimes, and it's it is what you got to do. But also offensively, they'll be needing to hire a new offensive coordinator too, because Steve Ensminger, same thing. He's going to step down. He's going to retire from active coaching. And so they're going to be needing an offensive coordinator. Also, I don't know if this offensive coordinator, if they bring in somebody else in, is he going to handle passing game, the whole thing, or they're going to have a passing game coordinator too? Because Scott Linehan didn't work out, just like Pelini didn't work out. No, Linehan didn't work out it either. So, but you also got to look at the players that didn't play, or the ones that opted out during the season. It's, when you look at that, it's like, what are you going to do anyway if you're LSU? I mean, you got two receivers that's going to be drafted in the first round. One stepped out at the beginning. Jamar Chase stepped out at the beginning. Stephon Sullivan stepped out within the season. He decided he had enough. But amazingly, when these guys pulled away, and they were down to like 54 players total, they won 2 games in a row. You go and beat Florida, you beat Ole Miss, and that Ole Miss game, that screamed Pelini must go. Obviously, yeah, that whole thing, it just screamed Pelini must go. So, yeah, because you get 6 turnovers. Ole Miss gives you 6, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 turnovers. And you barely win the game. Something's wrong with that picture, don't you think? You give up almost 600 yards of offense, you win. You win by 5 points. Okay. Normally when a team gives you 6 turnovers, you beating them by a lot, but not LSU. So that told us everything we needed to know. But like I said, those players left. They were down to the minimum number that the SEC would allow people to play with, teams to play with, and they won 2 games in a row. So finished 5-5. I mean, hey, for everything that went on in a season that you lose to Mississippi State, you lose to Missouri. Come on, y'all. Come on. Something's wrong with that picture. Something is definitely wrong with that picture. But, but they decided to step out, and they decided not, to end the season, to put themselves on a bowl ban. I'm still waiting to see about this whole thing with the players abusing women and reporting it to people and it not getting reported to the right people. The first thing you need, it's school, whoever who was in charge of getting these violations, getting these players, one actually confessed to one of the assistant athletic directors. He wound up resigning because the story came out. And, between that and the recruiting violations that LSU did, I don't know. The NCAA may say, no, that wasn't strong enough. But I'm not playing a bowl game. I guess wasn't a big deal. But Tulane gets to a bowl game, played yesterday, got off to a miserable start, got way behind. I mean, they were down by, 3 scores at the half, and they cut it to 11 at the end of the game, scoring with 5 seconds to go. But you know how that is, scoring garbage touchdowns late. But we still got Louisiana Tech who go, when did they play? I'm trying to remember. I think that's the Saturday game. And I know UL Lafayette's got a bowl game as well. So 3 teams from Louisiana making bowl games. And this pandemic year, well, lucky, I guess. It's just one of those things. And then obviously high school football season in Louisiana is about to come to a close where they're gonna play Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to play 9 games. So you have 9 championships in a state the size of Louisiana. Well, thank you, public-private split. Well, they call them select and non-select is what they do. So, whatever they call them, but it is what it is, and at least, but they playing in Natchitoches, not in the Superdome, and that's why I'm not participating in any of them. If it would have been in the Dome, I probably could have had time to at least maybe to do evening games, but yeah, but that was supposed to be Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I was going to just move one vacation day, but it didn't transpire in enough time, so I kept my whole week of vacation for this week. So, and it's been a while since I had Christmas week off, so I'm enjoying it, so it's good. But, I also been getting some positive feedback of when I had my discussion about the LGBT community. And it's a positive feedback. Look, I'm 57 years old. You would think, oh, well, maybe you should be against. No, no, yeah. I'm my own person. I'm gonna think my own way. I'm gonna do things my way, and enjoy. And even though I listened to like that guy. I was telling you about Dion Yorkie. I like his music a lot, and believe it or not, I mean I don't like many of new music, but I do like that. I mean he's got a couple of good ballads, and he sings about his own life. I mean, he sings about his own life, his own struggles, and it makes it good. I think that's what it is, because he sings from the heart, and he writes his own music, he writes his own lyrics, he does everything. He actually performs. Obviously, goes into studios where he's an independent artist, and anybody who has been in the music business knows being an independent, that's hard. That's very hard. That's hard work, and hey, and he's getting it done. I mean, it's like I started my own network, the Jam Sports Network, and everything else. I don't know. I think I just like doing these conversations with people, and instead of, I don't think I'm gonna get involved with doing pranks and all that stuff. But I use this as a companion to the Jam Sports Network, also to my show. Not only being on the Jam Sports Network, but being on You Now, and able to put that on live. That's a big deal. That actually is a big deal for me. I do like the fact that I can do that. So it is one of those things, and yeah, I was going to mention that too. I'm looking at that. I just saw that the NHL, they're playing their whole NHL, the whole hockey, their whole season schedule. It's going to be divisional play only. So they're going to play teams within their own division throughout the entire the whole abbreviated season that they're doing. So hey, it is what it is. People do different things. The NFL was able to do their full schedule. NBA wasn't able to because they had to cut back. But I don't know, them rushing right back into it. That's, the NBA is going to be something else. But yeah, the Pelicans do start tonight. What a tough Toronto team up in Toronto. So, yeah, the Amalie Arena. Amalie is an oil brand that used to be here in the United States. It kind of went away. I don't remember if I think Kendall Oil is part of that group, but I could be wrong. But just like, we had SO and it changed to Exxon. The SO brand is still around. It's just up in Canada. So it's one of those things. But, yeah. Well, it's like Tim Hortons, the coffee shop up there in Canada, and they do have few locations in the United States, but they're the owners of Burger King and Popeye's Chicken now, too. And those things are starting to migrate up into Canada. I think they had Burger Kings all along, but I think since Tim Horton bought Popeyes, I think they're getting Popeyes locations up there now in Canada. I know but like I said, Canadian companies own American companies. Popeyes Chicken started in Araby, Louisiana, St. Bernard Parish, and it spread out throughout the New Orleans area, and it went everywhere else. And Al Copeland decided, let's buy Church's. Well, when he bought Church's, he bought Church's debt, Church's Chicken. Bought their debt. That franchise has been all over the place. And now it's called, some group they call themselves Cajun Operating Partnership. Don't even know who they are. So, but Church's Chicken's not what it used to be, believe me. Yeah, but yeah, it's something that started in New Orleans. He lost his behind because of that. He kept his Copeland's restaurants, but he had to give up the Popeyes and the Church's. And Popeyes was owned for a while by an Atlanta-based company, and they moved to Jacksonville. And since the merger with Burger King and Tim Horton's buying both Burger King and Popeyes, they've now taken the Popeyes headquarters and put it with the Burger King headquarters in Miami. So, yeah, here, there, otherwise, and something that started here. So, Yeah, I'm just rambling on. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off. But what I'm going to do before I go is I'm going to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we'll be back on the other side. I'll probably do a show next week prior to, New Year's Eve or something. I'll put another episode up here. But like I said, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everybody, and thanks for joining me.